When I started to learn how to do straight backs, I struggled with getting all of the cornrows to fit in the back. And today I will show you the ankle braid technique. The ankle braid technique is going to allow you to get all of your cornrows to fit in the back. I'm going to show you the wrong way and the right way. The wrong way is to start your cornrow basically from the side, and without any kind of anchor, it's going to sway to the left or sway to the right. You don't want that. For the anchor, you basically need to split the hair into 4 quadrants and make a braid in the middle. The braid in the middle is going to allow you to get all of your cornrows to fit going straight back and fit in the nape of the neck. Okay, so let's start this tutorial. So right now I am greasing my model's scalp and hair with black castor oil. This is what I like to use every time I'm braiding. And I'm just making random parts to put the oil on her scalp. And once I am done doing this, I'm going to massage her scalp. This also promotes hair growth. Okay, so once you have the hair ready, moisturized and detangled, you want to do the anchor braid. Okay, I am using Blue Magic Grease and Shine-In Jam to help me clean the parts today. And for the ankle braid, you want to start with the 4 quadrants by making a part straight down from the front of her head to the back of her head, but basically splitting her hair into 2 equal parts. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm dividing her hair into 2 equal parts from the front of her head to the back of her head, and then I'm going to make another part from ear to ear. Okay, so this part from ear to ear is going to show me the middle of her head, okay, so that I could do the first ankle braid. So I make the line from one ear to the other to make sure that I get the middle of her head. And this will also let me know the size of the hair that I'm working with. I've mentioned this in my previous video of how to braid fast, and this will also guide me to know how much hair I need to part to get the exact cornrows to be equal. Okay, and now I could see that the middle, I didn't actually get the middle. So what I'm going to do now is to make sure I get the middle, and this is one thing that the quadrant helps you to do. So now I'm satisfied. I have the parts directly in the middle of her head, and I use her nose as a guide to do the line going straight back. So the braiding hair that I'm using today is pre-stretch braiding hair, and I'm using some deep wave curly hair because I'm going to be adding curls today. And that's about the size of the braiding hair that will be fitting in today. And I'm just going to cut the curly hair into 2, and I'm just going to put it on my chair. So that's what I like to use to basically organize the hair. Alright, so let's do the first braid. Okay, I'm going to stand behind her. Remember, we're doing straight back, so I'm going to make sure I'm standing directly behind her so that the parts can be straight going back. Once I have positioned myself correctly, I'm going to make a part from the right quadrant like this, okay, to make sure I get the ankle braid in the middle. And now, once I reach the quadrants in the back, I'm going to take a very small piece of hair like this, all right, because the hair in the back is less than the hair that she has on top and in the front of her head. Okay, this is just how the human head is. So you want to take small parts of hair when you get to the back like this. All right, so once I'm done cleaning the parts of my right quadrant, I am now going to take the same amount of hair from the left quadrant. So this is the hair on the right. I'm gonna now take the same size of hair from the left so that I have the size of hair that I want to braid, and it's exactly equal and it's exactly in the middle, if that makes sense. So this is the size of her hair that I'm going to braid today, and it's directly in the middle of her head. So take your time when you're doing this And this is the most important part, doing the middle braid, the ankle braid. Once you do the ankle braid, it's going to start getting easier, okay? So now I'm going to do the first braid. For feeding braid, I like to make a part first and braid her natural hair, and then start feeding in the braiding hair like this. Don't worry, once we finish this ankle braid, I will do it in slow motion when we get to the side, but just keep on watching. So now we have the first braid, which is the ankle braid. Okay, so now I'm comfortable to start doing the rest of the braid, because now I know that I could now easily distribute the hair in the back equally among all of the braids that I'm going to do, and it's not going to sway to the left or it's not going to sway to the right, because there's a braid in the middle that is basically now guiding me to do all of the cornrows and make sure all of them fit in the back of her head. So that's basically the ankle braiding technique, and once I'm done doing this, I start braiding from the side like this, and again managing the hair in the back. You see that? I want to make sure that the hair in the back I am able to distribute it among all of the cornrows that I'm doing. Okay, so you want to take very small pieces when you get to the back. Okay, don't worry, I will have a very detailed cornrow class coming soon, where I will show you multiple ways to start your feeding braids and to finish them. So now in slow motion, to start the feeding braid, the basic feeding braid is to start with the natural hair. You make a part like that, and I'm going to start braiding with her natural hair. So I'm going to braid 1, 2, 3, and now start feeding in the hair. So for the feed in, I am right-handed, and so I feed in from the right, okay? So I will take the braiding hair, place it over, let go, braid, braid. Once I get to the right, I'm going to tuck that piece under. Again, take the braiding hair, place it over, you braid, braid to the right, tuck under, like this. So I will consider this way of fitting in for cornrows as the knotless way of doing box braids, because I started with her natural hair and then I started to feed in the hair. So this is basically knotless braids laying flat, if that makes sense. But don't worry, like I said, I will have a very detailed class on how to feed cornrows, multiple ways to do it, okay? So this is basically the basic way. So again, take the braiding hair, place it over the braid, let go, braid to the left, braid to the right, tuck that piece under, like so. Another thing with cornrows is, or feeding braid, is knowing when to stop feeding in hair and to basically monitor the size progression, which is one thing I'm going to address in my next feeding braids class. Knowing when to add hair, knowing when to stop, basically monitoring the size of the hair as you keep going. And don't worry, we will cover all of that in the next coming weeks. So once I am satisfied with the thickness of the braid that I want to get, I will stop feeding in hair, and I'm going to flip the braid over and start doing the box braid and finish the braid like this. So I'm going to try to tuck her natural hair underneath the braiding hair. And now I'm going to feed in the curly hair. Okay, so for the curly hair, you basically feed it in as like you would feed hair if you're doing knotless braids, and then you're going to let go of one piece like this. I'm going to show you again. Alright, so you take the curly hair, place it over underneath your thumb, you braid, okay, so I'm going to let go of the curly hair on the left side this time. And now I'm going to let go of the longer piece of the curly hair like this. If you want to know how to feed in curly hair in detail, I actually showed how to do this in my boho box braids class, this video right here. So go watch it and you will know how to feed in curly hair. So I am leaving curls on the ends for this style. I'm just gonna measure it with the same length as the ankle braid as you see me doing, and to secure it I'm adding crazy glue. It's just a different brand of glue, but you could basically use nail glue. Put the glue behind the braid, at the back of the braid, and yeah, and it's not going to unravel or anything. And then just trim off any flyaways, and that's basically it. So now I am going to go ahead and finish the rest of the head, and just keep on watching and give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it so far. Like this video, and that will also help other people to see it as well. So simply pay it forward by liking this video and hit the subscribe button, and just keep on watching. Alright, so we are done, and I'm just going to trim the ends of the curls, and there is no hot water needed for this. I'm just going to apply some leave-in conditioning spray, and this is by Cream of Nature, and I'm going to add some accessories to our hair. So it was a little bit tricky doing this straight back in my little space where I'm braiding right now because there's not a lot of room for me to like move around, but I did the best I could to show you guys. So once you do the ankle braid, it's gonna be easier for you to start doing the sides and for you to get all the braids to fit in the back. So thank you guys so much, and she looks so beautiful.